UPN Veteran Yogyakarta, and today we are going to have a very honest conversation about what it really like to be us. Let me introduce our panel.
Hi everyone, I'm Savannah Shalsasabila, and yes, my laptop is Al Saban. I'm the person in class who finished the lab assessment early and then has no idea who to explain it to anyone else.
I'm Listia Wulandari. I'm here because they said there is free coffee. And also because someone has to be the hostess in this group. That's me.
And I'm Joshua Priya Sabita, super excited to be here. Let's go! I genuinely love our campus. I love Jogja, and I believe every problem has a solution, including surviving Informatika.
Today we are diving into something very special close to our hearts as informatics students living here in Jogja. We are asking the big question, is Jogja really the best student city in Indonesia? And what is actually like to survive? I mean, study informatics at UPN Veteran Yogyakarta. We have three segments lined up: boot up, hot takes, and stack overflow. Trust me, it's going to be interesting. No sugar counting, just real talk. Let's debug. Alright, let's start with something we all experience. When you first entered the informatics program at UPN, what did you expect and what actually happened?
Okay, honestly, I thought collect would be like a hackathon every day, writing cold code and building apps. But then algorithm class hit me, and I spent 3 weeks just trying to understand recursion. I remember staring at my screen at my night thinking, it's just normal and I just not smart enough for this. Turns out everyone feel like the same way. We just didn't talk about it.
I expect the professor to teach me how to be a programmer. What I got was the theory, figure out the rest yourself. But actually, that's not wrong. That's how I actually works in the industry. The expectation gap was real tough. First week I was excited. Second week I was questioning every life decision I ever made.
Wow, that it's experimental relatable. You say, what about you?
For me, the surprise was the community. I didn't expect to have such amazing classmates who are always ready to help each other. That made everything easier. Like, we have a class group chat that's literally active at 2 a.m. before every deadline. Stressful, yes, but also kind of beautiful that we are all struggling together.
We all have that one course that either made us or broke us. What yours?
Algorithm and programming. First semester, first week already wanted to drop out. But here's the things. Once it clicked. It really clicked, and I think that course is the reason I can actually think logically now. I rewired my brain.
Mine is computer network. That's when I realized how to connected the world of technology really is. When I learning about routing, IP address, and how device communicate with each other, I feel like okay, this is why I just informatics. And when I finally configuration network successfully by myself, it feels like really satisfying to see all the device connected properly.
Implementasi based data. It's where I truly understood how system work behind the scene. I connected theory with real world application, designing the database, writing queries, and seeing the data come to life. That's when I felt like a real developer.
That's very relatable. I think we all been there. Alright, great answer everyone. Okay, time for hot takes. This is the part where everyone has to say something they truly believe. Even if it's controversial, no judge. Ready? Awa, you go first.
Okay, my hot take is using AI tools like ChatGPT to help you code is not cheating. It's actual a skill. The real world uses it. Profession, professor who ban it are preparing us for a world that no longer exists. Every professional develop I follow on LinkedIn uses AI tools on daily. It's a part of the job now. The skill is now how to use it well, not pretending it doesn't exist.
Finally, someone cited.
I agree, but I think we still need to understand the basics first before relying on AI. Otherwise, you won't even know if the AI gives you the wrong answer.
That's a fair balance. Use is a tool, but build the foundation first. Alright, Listia.
Hot take, GPA is important. I rather have a strong GitHub portfolio and one real project than a 4.0 GPA with zero experience. I've seen people with a 3.9 GPA who can debug a simple function, and I've seen people with a 3.2 who build an app that's actually being used. Which is, uh, which one do you want working on your team?
Controversial, but also kinda true.
Depends on where you want to work. Some company still filter by GPA first. It's not fair, but it's the really of the job market here.
Tentos, companies are filtering for competence, not capability. And do you really want to work somewhere that values your landscape over your actual skill?
My hot take is Jogja is actually perfect for informatics students. Cheap, living cost, more time to focus on learning. Big cities are overrated for college life. In Jakarta, students spend half their energy just surviving, commuting, paying rent, dealing with noise and stress. Here in Jogja, I have the mental space to actually learn and grow.
Until you try to find a text internship here.
Remote work exists. I literally got a remote internship last semester from a Bandung startup. Applied from my course, interview on Zoom, work from my desk. Jogja was never the problem.
Okay, that's a really good point. Remote work changed everything, and now my hot take. And my hot take, all nighters before deadlines are not a badge of honor. If you are always staying up until 4 a.m. for a segment, that's a planning problem, not dedication. We glorify sleep deprivation in this major like it's something to be proud of. I only sleep 2 hours last night. That's not impressive. That's a warning sign.
I feel personally attacked.
Same, I need a moment. I always sleep 8 hours and I'm doing fine. Just say.
We know, Jose. We know. Alright. Again, hot takes everyone. Alright, we are now entering the Stack Overflow segment where we are answer the question that don't have easy answer. I have 3 questions here. Think of it like the actually Stack Overflow website. Someone is stuck, they post their problem and we try to help. Expect this time it's about life, no code. And just like the real Stack Overflow, There are no dumb questions here, only unasked ones, so let's go into it. Question 1. How do you survive algorithm class without losing your mind?
Study group. Seriously, do not try to do it alone. Find 2 or 3 classmates and work through problems together. Explaining a concept to someone else forces you to actually understand it. If you can't explain it, you haven't learned it yet.
Accept that you will be confused. That's completely normal. The confusion means you're learning something that generally challenges your brain. The worst thing you can do is compare yourself to the one person in class who seems to get everything immediately. Trust me, they are also confused. They're just better at hiding it.
YouTube is your best friend. There are amazing free resources out there. Don't just rely on the textbook. Channels like CS Dojo, Abdul Bari, even Meet Open Sourceware, all free, all incredible good. Use them. Also, don't be afraid to visit your professor during office hours. They genuinely want to help.
Great advice all around, and for me, break the problems. Look at 50 line algorithm and panic. Start with line 1, understand it fully, then move to line 2. The big picture becomes clear when the small parts make sense.
Exactly. Incremental understanding, it's literally how we write code one function at a time. And if you fail the first test or quiz, it's not the end of the world. I know people who failed algorithm in the midterm and still got at the end of the semester. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Really important reminder. Okay, let's move to question 2. Question 2. Is it okay to still not know what you want to specialize in web dev, AI, cybersecurity in your second year?
Absolutely okay. Second year is still early. The whole point of exploring different different course is to find what excites you. Don't let anymore make you feel behind. I didn't figure out what I wanted until I accidentally fell in love with a topic while doing an assessment. Sometimes it finds you. You don't have to force it.
I'd say try to build at least one small project in each area you're curious about. Real experience tell you more than any course description every will. You might think you want to do AI until you actually sit down and implement a neural network from scratch and realize it's not one you imagine. Or the opposite happens and you feel completely in love with it. You never know until you try.
And please, don't let other people's choice pressure you. If you enter friend group suddenly decide to go into AI or cybersecurity, that does mean you have to follow them. The tech industry needs people who specialize in all of these areas. Web development, AI engineering, security analysts, mobile devs, database administrator, the world needs all of them. There is not wrong answer, only the answer that first fits you.
And I want to add, help your seniors. Find kakak tingkat who are already doing internship or working in these fields and ask them honestly, what does the day-to-day look like? The reality of a job is often very different from what you imagine it to be. That's
senior told me that web app isn't just making things look pretty. There's so much tech and logic involved that completely changed how I talk about it.
Exactly. Perspective from people already in the field is invaluable. Alright, we have one more question, and I think this one is the most universal. Question 3. How do you balance kuliah, campus, organization, and still actually enjoy living in Jogja? It feels like I'm either studying all the time or feeling guilty for not studying.
Okay, this is the real question. The one nobody gives you an honest answer to. My honest answer, you cannot always balance everything perfectly. Some weeks a segment win, some weeks life wins. The goal is balance over a month, not over a single day. Stop expecting every day to be perfectly productive.
For organization, Buslete first year is very tempting to join everything, HIMA, OKM, and BEM, all of it. But doing one organization is really, well, is worth 10 times more than doing 5 organization per day.
And I want to say something about the guilt feeling, especially because I think a lot of us experience this. That feeling of guilt when you are not studying, it often comes from comparing your life to a highlight reel. Someone posts their GitHub commit streak, someone else posts their internship over, and suddenly your sunny world around Malioboro feels like less tight. Rest is part of the process, enjoyment is part of the process. Please explore Jogja. Go to Prambanan, in Gudeg at midnight, watch the sunrise from Bukit Bintang. You are not going to be a student city forever.
You have been to Prambanan?
I've driven past it. That doesn't count. I know. I'm going, I promise after exam. That's what everyone say. Okay, we're going together, all four of us after finals. I'm putting in the calendar right now.
I believe it when I see it.
Fine, enough. Alright, thank you so much for all that. Really great answer. Let's from this up. And from you, remember to debating your code and debating your life require the same skill, mentis, persistence, and the courage to start over when nothing works. To every informatics student at UPN Veteran Jakarta, we see you, we understand the struggle, and we are rooting for you always. That's a wrap for today. Debating session. Thank you for your watching. Until next time, keep coding, keep growing, and never stop debating.